everyone! Today we're making a special cake for Mother's Day. It's going to look like a bouquet of tulips. I'm using my favorite frosting, my own Marshmallow Puff. You can find the full recipe right here. It's super light, holds its shape beautifully, doesn't melt in the heat, and honestly, I'm obsessed with it. Alright, let's get started. Time to decorate our tulip cake. I've already smoothed the cake with a light green frosting. Now I'm grabbing my favorite tulip piping tip and a leaf tip. For the tulip tip, I'm using the largest piping bag I have. It's a 22-inch one, so we can load it up with lots and lots of frosting. And when I cut the bag, just to be safe, I always tape the tip to the bag so it doesn't pop out while I'm working. So here you can see I decided to make the greenery a bit more vibrant. It's actually pretty hard to get bold colors with this frosting because it's super white, so achieving deep shades can be tricky. I added a bit of olive green to tint the frosting for the leaves. For the tulip buds, I'm going with a soft, muted pink. I'm using pink food coloring and adding just a tiny drop of sienna to tone it down. That's a little trick I use to avoid that super bright Barbie pink look. We want something more natural. You could also add a tiny bit of brown, beige like I'm doing here, or even the tiniest touch of black to mute the color just right. Before we start piping our tulips, let's go over the technique. You always want to keep twisting your piping bag to maintain pressure. That's honestly one of the most important rules when piping tulips. I start in the center with one tulip right in the middle, then I add a few leaves around it. After that, I begin piping tulips in a circle around the center flower, and I fill in the gaps with more green leaves. I just keep going like that until the whole top of the cake is covered in tulips and greenery. And if it happens that a flower doesn't turn out, don't worry, it happens. It actually happened to me 5 times while making this cake. I just didn't film those parts. You can easily fix it. I just grab a regular pair of scissors, not even floral ones, and gently remove the flower from the cake. You can put that frosting back into the bag and pipe a new, better tulip. To get nice tulips, there are a few key things to remember. First, your frosting needs to be the right consistency, very stiff. Then make sure you're twisting the bag regularly to keep good pressure. And when you're piping, press firmly and pull your hand upward as you go. And that's pretty much it. Those are the main secrets to piping beautiful tulips. the tulips on top are done and surrounded by leaves, it's time for the final touch, the side leaves. I decided to decorate the entire side of the cake with greenery. I used the leaf tip with our green frosting and held it facing inward toward the cake. Then I just piped upward strokes from bottom to top, creating these leaf stem shapes all around the cake. To fill in those tiny little gaps between the flowers in the center, just to make sure there aren't any empty spots, I did a little trick. I took a regular piping bag, cut a small angled tip right at the corner, and used it to pipe skinny little leaves. It's a super easy way to fill in those little spaces and make everything look nice and full. And just when I thought the cake was finished, I remembered last time I made a similar one, the one that got over 130 million views on Instagram and millions more here on YouTube. A lot of you commented that it needed a bow. A bow! So this time, I decided to try making one out of frosting. For the very first time in my life, I had no idea what I was doing, but I grabbed a big, wide piping tip, the rose petal tip, and just kind of improvised. I'm not sure how well it turned out, to be honest. If any of you know how to properly pipe a buttercream bow, please drop your tips in the comments. I'd love to learn. So yeah, it is what it is. Don't judge me too hard. It's my first bow. And for the final touch, I added these cute little butterflies. They're not edible, just for decoration, but I thought they'd make the cake extra special. Like the tulips are so fragrant and dreamy that butterflies couldn't resist flying over to taste the nectar. So here it is, guys. This is the finished cake. I really think any mom would love it. What do you think? Would you make one too?